Good day, viewers. Let's do what we do every day. And what we do every day is endorsed by God. My God, your God. God of the heavens, God of the earth, God of the oceans, God of the space in between. In short, God of the universe. Let's begin with section 26 of Still, Surah Bakar, Surah 2. That's the Heifer. Bakar means the Heifer. It begins with 211. And what does it say? Sal Bani Israel, Kam ataynahum min ayatin baynatin. Ask the children of Israel, how many clear signs we have sent them. وَمَنْ يَبْدُلُ نِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ مِنْ بَعْدَ مَا جَاءَتْهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدَ مَا جَاءَتْهُ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدٌ عِقَابٍ. But if anyone, after God's favor has come to him, substitutes something else, God is strict in punishment. And this is precisely what the Israelis do, substituting God's word. It is God himself who has said it in various places in the Quran. Excuse me. Inna Allah shadidun akibun. Shadidun ikab. Sorry. God is strict in punishment. He complains about the Israelis. God complains about Israelis. He chose them above all nations. It's in this same Quran. He spoiled them. They're like spoiled children. Chose them above all nations. And yet they changed his words. In his former revelations, except the Quran. That's according to the Quran. Okay. Zina allazina kafaru alhayawat dunya wa yashuruna min allazina amanu walazina itaku fokahum yawm al-qiyamati. The life of this world is alluring to those who reject faith. So listeners, is it true or not? I repeat, the life of this world is alluring to those who reject faith. And they scoff at those who believe. وَيَسْخَرُونَ مِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Those who believe, they scoff at them. وَالَّذِينَ اتَّقُوا فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. They scoff at those who believe, but the righteous will be above them on the day of judgment. Who are the righteous? Those who believe, as explained in this book. They will be above those who scoff them on the day of judgment. You believe it or not, this is the word of God. You are somewhere, somebody thinks you are too, or you are too pious, or you endeavor to be too pious. They make fun of you. You fall here. You will be above them on the day of judgment. يوم القيامة والله يرزق من يشاء بغير الحساب. والله يرزق من يشاء بغير الحساب. For God bestows his abundance without measure, بغير الحساب, without measure, on whom he wills. On whom he wills. لمن يشاء. The fact that you are mocking them doesn't mean God is also mocking them. Indeed, it rather pains God. You see somebody moving and he's done nothing to you. He passes, you laugh, you make fun of him because you think he is not as wayward as you are. You'll be surprised. God, say, God says he provides his abundance to whoever he wish. Liman yasha. So you're laughing at them, you're mocking them, pointing fingers at them. Doesn't bother God at all. It rather pains him, like I said. Hmm? Okay. Let's go to the next verse. That's verse 213. Kana nasu ummatin wahidatan. فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين نبيين مبشرين ومنذرين وأنزل معهم الكتاب بالحق ليحكم بين الناس فيما اختلفون فيه pardon me, getting itches in some parts of my face. Mankind was one single nation, and God sent messengers with glad tidings and warnings. And with them he sent the book, Al-Kitaba, in truth, Bilhaq, to judge between people in matters wherein they differed, or if you like, in matters wherein they disagreed. No difference. The two sentences are synonymous with each other. وما اختلاف فيه إلا الذين أوتوا إلا الذين أوتوا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينات بغيا بينهم. Let's go to the English. The English side of it. But the people of the book, when he says the people of the book, wherever you hear the people of the book, he means the Israelis, because he sent them the book. He sent them the book, which is the Torah, the law, if you like. This is what he refers to as the book. The Quran is also the book, but a summary of the entire book. All the books that came before the Quran are only parts of God's message. The Quran summarizes all. The Quran is the end. So the people of the book is the people of the Torah, whom Christians, I think they say, maybe rightly or wrongly, call the Old Testament. So, but the people of the book, after the clear signs came to them, did not differ among themselves, except through selfish contumacy. So they did not differ among themselves except through selfish contumacy. In other words, they differed among themselves in matters that actually do not matter to God or are not actually necessary. That's where they differed. Evil, if you like, or waywardness, if you like. Let's continue. ما جاءتهم بينات بغيا, selfish contumacy بينهم. Fine, I've got a place. فهذا الذين آمنوا لما اختلفوا فيه منه min al-haq bi-iznillah. God, by his grace, guided the believers to the truth. So if you try to believe, he will guide you more into the truth. If you disbelieve, you've given yourself to Satan. He will draw you far, 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 far away from the truth. That's how it is. So, but God, by his grace, guided the believers to the truth. Sorry, I'm feeling some discomfort in my face. Pardon me for that. God, by his grace, guided the believers to the truth concerning that wherein they differed. For God guides whom he will, to a path that is straight. Satan guides to a path that is crooked, full of curves. Crooked path and path made of bends, curves. Follow your curve, follow your curve. But God leads you straight to the path. That is straight. Okay. Let's go to the next verse. Hasibtum an tadkhulu al-jannata walamma yatikum mithla allazina halu min qablikum. It's a question. Or do you think that you shall enter the garden of bliss without such trials as came to those who passed away before you? So you can't get into the garden of bliss without trials. What are the trials? There are those mentioned here. People will mock you. People will laugh at you. People mocked Jesus Christ, alayhi salam, and Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. People mocked them. Even Moses, he was mocked. Abraham was mocked, even put on fire. Let's think about that. Let's reflect over those things. So let's go back to the question. Or do you think that you shall enter the garden of bliss without such trials as came to those who passed away before you? These are the people, some of the people I've mentioned already, including your parents. They encountered suffering and adversity. Oh, let me go to the other side. Masabtum al-bahsa, masabtum al-bahsa wa وزلزلوا حتى يقولوا الرسول والذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله. Oh my God. Allah inna نصر الله قريب. Inna نصر الله قريب. So let's go to the English section. They encounter suffering and adversity. Masabtum al-basa'u wa dara'u. They encountered suffering and adversity and were so shaken. Wazulzulu hatta, they were shaken. Wazulzulu hatta, they were shaken in spirit, that even the messenger and those of faith who were with him cried. They cried. and said, when will the help of God come? We are still saying it today. Somebody's in the rooms crying. I've done it before. You ask, where is the help of God coming? When is it coming? So many people, you ask, they've done it. Those in the previous lives have done it. I've asked those questions before. And this is what is repeated here. Whoever you are, there are times like that. And they say, cried. Well, Yakulu. Yakulu here is interpreted as cried, because that's what they were crying. That's what they were saying. Cried. When will come the help of God? Verily, the help of God is always near. Inna Nasrullah Karibun is always near. Let's go to the next section. Yasalunaka Maza Yamfikuna Kul Infuku Menheren Faliwalidaini wal akribina wal yatima wal masakina wa ibn sabila. So they asked thee, that's verse 215. They asked thee what they should spend Maya Fukuna in charity. Say, they're asking God. God is speaking to Muhammad. Say, whatever you spend, in other words, you spend whatever wealth you spend, that is good. Min heirin. Kul ma infukuna min heirin. What is good? It's for parents, walidaini, wa kindred, for the walidaini, wal akribina, wa kindred, wal yatima, orphans, masakini, wa masakini, and those in want. Wa ibn sabila, and wayfarers. And whatever you do that is good, God knoweth it all. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِهِ عَلِيمٌ وَمَا تَعْلَمُونَ مِنْ خَيْرٍ وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ. And whatever you do that is good, God knows it all. Kutiba alaykum. Yes, this is a verse that people will consider controversial. Kutiba alaykum al-kitalu wa huwa kurhun lakum. Kutiba alaykum al-kitalu wa huwa kurtum lakum. Wa asa an takrahu shay شيئا وهو خير وحتى وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم. Oh, wonderful. Uh, but it is possible that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and that ye love a thing which is bad for you. We often see it. Something that is good for you, you don't like. Something that is bad for you, you like. You meet a woman, or let me say a partner. Okay, I'll come to the men's side. You meet a woman who gives you signals. You are not married. She's not married. She gives you a signal. You don't know. I don't like her. I encountered her before when I was young. Maybe one day I'll show you the picture. Somebody was always follow me, and I said no. But then we were still too young. So you don't like her for some reason. But when you are mature, somebody she has done no wrong. She follow you do. Then you are eyeing instead of woman B who is always giving you the signal. You are eyeing woman B, a woman C. But the woman B is the one good for you. She has telling you, and she says that no, this is good for me, and you should be good for her. You refuse. You you go in for woman C, and that's where you smell pepper. I'm good in English. And the ladies too is the same thing. Something that is good for you, we don't like. Something that is bad for us, we like. Eh? So, can this statement be more right? But it was related to war. And people will say, this is why some people say Muhammad is a warmonger. But no, it's prescribed by God. Hmm? And remember, I've said it before, the first war was fought by the first family, Adam's children, Cain and Abel. Then who can stop war? And it was nothing but because of a woman. Cain killed Abel because of a woman. That is war. There couldn't be war because there was only one family. How can one family have a war? Yes, one person kills the other. That is war. So whoever dreams of stopping war in the world is not realistic. It's being naive, pardon me to say. Hmm? Uh, I'm getting lost again. Uh, وإن تهيبوا شيء وهو لكم وهو شر لكم. Okay, evil for you. والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. I know this. And then God knows, but you don't know. والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. Hmm? God knows. Uh, God knoweth, and ye know not. So God knows, and you don't know. So not everything is just by chance. Hmm? The one, the the opposite sex near you, wanting you, don't just reject them, especially if you are not married. And if you don't have any good reason, examine them carefully. Examine them carefully. And do not compare them to people who are far away, whom you don't know, whom you want, for some tiny reason. Hmm? So it's not only in war, it is also in real social life, pardon me. So you see, so how can we not like the Quran? Huh? So my videos are for those who endeavor to know the content of the Quran. People don't know the content. People don't know what I'm reading now. People don't know these things are in the Quran at all. They don't know. You mention the Quran, oh, you mention the Quran, oh, you have your book, I have my book. You don't have a book. You don't have Bible. I don't have Quran. They are for all of us. Both are for everybody. Hmm? They've come in different stages at different times to different people. Or let me omit the to different people, to all peoples. Hmm? So I think we're done with this section. Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamuna. Let's end here. The next time we go to section 27, beginning with 217. Let's see if we can do something out of the tabloids. The last time we entered with Konkonsa, Alaji Konkode's hot gossip. Sorry, I'm getting old and I call words anyhow. I remember when we were at school, we were debating, and somebody wanted to say single schools and male schools. Somebody wanted to explain something concerning single schools, all mixed schools, and she said she causes abortion and she dash. No difference between she and he. Eh? She causes abortion and she dash. She wants to say she causes abortion and she dies. That's what I'm doing here. Please pardon me. So let's go to the gossip. The next story should be it was the allergy, a very controversial allergy, wicked to people outside and loving his family and not knowing what forgiveness is. So today we go to the next person. That quarrelsome woman opposite the SDA church, Mata Hiko. So verily, she's not the only quarrelsome woman. You ask the married ones, you see how women can nag at home. When they come out, you see them as nice ladies. And the men too, how they can bash their women at home. When they come out with their neckties and coats, you say, oh, Mr. President, Mr. Clergyman, oh, lawyer, doctor, whatnot. But you go home and see. So, you Karasim woman opposite the SDA church. Madam, good morning. So you are sure you love your husband? Madam, good morning. So you are sure you love your husband? Oh, let me show you the. Uh-huh. So you are sure you love your husband? Why do you insult your husband so painfully? You are spoiling your children, especially the girls. I love that. You insult your husband in front of your children. And the girls will grow up and will do the same to their children because whatever the mothers do, they will do it, except those that God has put in the right path. So you are spoiling your children and especially the girls. Why do you take delight in quarrels and insults like that, and in quarrels and insults like that? At your age, you should be showing good behavior, but that is not so with you. You clapped and looted at him as if he was a useless man. But I hear you still love him. You know what a woman do? When they quarrel where they want to shame you, they do this and call it, hey, that's the husband doing that to the husband. It happens in public. The man comes out gentleman just because he sleeps with you in the same bed. You have lost all your respect to him. This is the one the paper say he claps. John, useless man. You do it. I don't know whether it's illiteracy or not. So that's what the people is saying here. You clapped and hooted at him as if he was a useless man. But I hear you still love him. Ironically, she still loves him. I don't know whether that's part of romance. So when the husband goes home, when they are going to sleep, you say, oh, don't worry, I was only playing. Women. Okay. So why don't you change the behavior well? Why don't you change? Why don't you change and behave well? Check your ways for a married woman. Your ways for a married woman should be respecting, submissive, and loyal to their husband to secure divine blessings. Okay, I love that. People in your vicinity call you names. Okay, maybe she doesn't know. Say people in your vicinity call you names. They say you too. They say you are too much and more than anybody could contain. You see, some husbands can be tolerant. Hmm? Some husbands can be very tolerant. Hmm? Your lifestyle is not fine and very strange. Your lifestyle is not fine and very strange. People don't speak well of you, so change. But does it bother whether people still speak well of him or of her or not? Once the husband tolerates her, she's okay. Hmm? So change. I'm going to watch you and hope you shall change. If you don't change, the whole world shall hear of your deeds. A woman sells vegetables, not gunpowder, and I'm sure you shall listen to good reason. You that bad woman. Huh? So, okay, let's go to the next session. That greedy DCE, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, oh. That greedy DCE, watch your mouth, oh. Uh, DCE, who are you and the Yehuda? Who are you and the Yehuda? I don't know what Yehuda is here. What were you before? What were you before? That's before becoming DCE. We forget our past. And that's the irony of it. You know people are watching and shall pass comments and judgment. So watch your mouth. Oh. That's Guardian English. When they say "oh," they add "oh" to the it's emphasis. Eh? So watch your mouth. Oh. Hmm? They are saying you talk too much, but you don't do much physically. Since you assumed duty, you've been talking and talking, but no serious progress has been made. Oh, yes, that's how Ghanaian politicians are made to do. They learn how to talk, and they begin with the radio stations. They will come and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and get money and walk away. Hmm? So let's continue. Uh, no progress made. People in your district have started expressing regrets about so many things, especially your non-performance of work in the district. Rather, you are all fronts talking everywhere. Yes, but the talking is part of his work. Here we want people to go and talk, not to perform. Mm. So talking everywhere. That woman, that woman contractor, this is another attack for another person. That woman contractor, you have placed your hopes on shall fail you. Oh, okay, let me read the English letter. Maybe you can make something out of it. You have placed your hopes on shall fail you as before. During the NDC era, I hear that woman did her. I hear that woman. Oh, okay. Please, this is the English I'm seeing. Huh? During the NDC era, NDC is a party. During the NDC era, I hear that woman did her huhudious deals. Did her huhudious deals. I don't know what that means, but she fortunately got out of the hook and is warning herself into the uh, regime. Into the regime. She's warning herself into the regime. Be careful about your mouth. Be careful about your mouth and your doings, especially this woman. This regime shall not tolerate any longer those ranting and muff. Huh? Eating, drinking, sleeping, talking won't help. And time is against you, Papa DC. So watch out your big mouth. Okay, let's see if we can complete the last story. That Kakafioto chief, that Kakafioto chief driver, stop that nonsense. It's happening everywhere. These things are happening everywhere in all countries. That Kakafionto chief, I can't even call the word, that Kakafionto chief driver, stop that nonsense. Do you think Mampong is a city where you can conceal that big crime? The deals at your workplace are far smaller than that one. The deals at your workplace are far smaller than that one. Why do you chase that mountainous heap of torso and jelly woman? He prefers big women. Simple. He prefers big women. Huh? Don't you know she is still in marriage? Oh, that's a sad thing. Don't you know she's still in marriage? The poor husband whispered in my ear that the whole deal is no more a secret in your area. So be careful and stop that nonsense now. You pick the woman as a trader and refuse to charge the fare as expected, and rather she pays with her big torso in bedmatics. But you know she is married. It's happening. It's still happening. It won't stop. Shamefully. And her children and even her in-laws are aware of your dangerous dealings. Please stop, or I shall expose you on the local internet, because Mampong is a small area. But you've already exposed him. Somebody whispered into my ear that you are fond of doing that to married women. Oh, I see. There are so many beautiful single ladies, and why don't you choose them? But you choose to chase married women. If this poor but dignified old man refuses to act, the other equally cheated men should do justice to you, especially that macho man's serious brother. You are a disgrace to your profession. They say you are aspiring to be what? To be an assembly man or a chief. You are disqualified. You have disqualified for so. Okay, let's stop there. So it's his habit to be going for people's wives. It's not a new thing, it's been happening. Even in the time of Abraham, there was a man who was looking for nobody but people's wives. And Abraham had to tell a holy lie that she was his sister. Let's stop here, viewers. Ila likai. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.